Dear friends, we are passing through a difficult phase of our lives in the country. The second surge of the coronavirus is seemingly more fatal, difficult, and challenging also for us. Death toll is increasing, so also the affected people. We are getting certain numbers, but one can imagine that beyond these numbers there are people who are affected, and we saw the pitiable miserable situations in many places in India where oxygen is not available, hospital beds are not available, the relatives and friends of the affected people are running up and down to arrange uh, something to save their lives. This time it reminds us of our responsibilities to be compassionate, to be caring. It's also an invitation for all of us human beings to realize that being human is more important. We salute the health workers, the police, the volunteers, and responsible citizens, the NGOs, and governments. If we are all together, forgetting our differences, forgetting our divisions in the name of religion, caste, communities, ethnicity, language, and regions, and if we are all together, we shall overcome these too. Having said that, today I'll be reflecting with you, my dear students, another important topic for you, that is time management. Time is equal to all, but some utilize the time properly and others fail in utilizing the time. We all of us have 24 hours per day, 60 minutes per hour, and 60 seconds per minute. Totally, we have 86,400 seconds. You cannot stop time. Time cannot be static. Time moves. Remember, the lost time we are not going to gain at all. Time is free, but it's priceless. You cannot own it, but you can use it. You cannot keep it, but you can spend it. Once you have lost it, you can never get it back. So, therefore, what is time management? Utilizing the time. We have heard about managing finances, managing an office, managing a school, and so on. But remember, time management is a precious skill which all of you, all of us must develop. If you put time management, each letter stands for a particular word which will help us to remember. This acronym will make us understand what is time management. Time, the Time. I take each word and put a word for us to remember. Time, T, time for task orientedness. I, for ingenuity. Ingenuity means inventiveness or creativity. M stands for make a to-do list. E stands for energetic, enthusiastic to do the right thing. M stands for meaningful engagement. A stands for adequate rest. N stands for never give up attitude. In other words, we can say perseverance. Failures may come, difficulty may arise, but we will persevere. That's called never give up attitude. A stands for avoid distractions and set priorities. We should have, all of us should have, our students and teachers and whatever officers we are having, we should not get distracted and set our priorities aside. G stands for get organized. Also, get help from others. Left to ourselves, none of us is perfect. But if we work together, we can achieve more. E stands for engage constructively, not destructively, not in a useless manner. M stands for motivation to use your time. E stands for evaluate your performance. N stands for novelty or newness or creativity. T stands for track how you spend your time. So, my dear students, time management, if you take, these are the aspects you must remember. Once again, I just recall time for task oriented, I for ingenuity, M for make a to do list, E stands for energetic or enthusiastic to do the right thing, M stands for meaningful engagement, A stands for adequate rest, N stands for never give up attitude, A stands for avoid distractions and set priorities, G stands for get organized or get help from others, E stands for engage constructively, M stands for motivation to use your time, E stands for evaluate the performance, N stands for novelty, newness, and creativity, and finally T stands for track how you spend your time. Remember, the time is money, says Ben Franklin in 1748. The definition I can give you on time management is this: time management is the predictable control an individual can exercise over a series of events. You know, time, yesterday is in history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Present means it's a gift. We must ask ourselves some questions when we talk about time management. How much time do you have? As I said, all of us have the same time, and some people do more. They say if you want a thing to be done, go to the busiest person, not the lazy persons. What are your goals? You must ask. Do I have a clear goal, what I want to become? Does free time really mean free time? Can I utilize for my free time from studies, etc., for developing a skill, reading, knowing more, etc.? Do you have a schedule? Ask yourself. Do you have a schedule? Do you have a planner? This is what I'm going to do this day and this week and this month and this year, etc. Do you have a do you what called procrastinate time? Are you equipped with time management tips? Ask all these questions. We need time management today, especially you need time management today as students, because today's education is very, very complex, overloaded with the syllabus. All of you know that. The shortage of qualified and quality teachers is a reality in our schools. Lack of teaching materials, poor coordination in the system, ever growing specialization in specialities put students at confused situation. We must remember that a wise person manages time. In fact, you yourself is the master of your studies. You must utilize the time prudently, just like as we use money. If you do not use prudently the money you have, you may end up at the end nothing you will have. So, therefore, prudent use of time is very important. Time management entails more than keeping a calendar or a time just written in the record. It requires identifying your obligations carefully, considering their importance, and making choices about how to use your time. So, that awareness is more important. And therefore, you must make time productive. Spend every second productively, either learning or making it usefully done. Because I believe, my dear brothers and sisters, my students, time is the most precious thing we have. Time is the most precious thing we have. Time is ultimately the most valuable resource we have. Time and how we spend it within the organization or your studies or your school, etc., etc., must be managed effectively. Time is so precious. You cannot hoard, you cannot store time. I used to ask people, what is the most important thing for us to live in this world? Invariably, people used to tell me that uh, we need money, we need love, we need facilities, and so on and so forth. But no one says, or very rarely people say, we need oxygen. Oxygen is so important. If you look at now in this pandemic period, people are running here and there for oxygen. The preciousness of oxygen, people are realizing. And we are cutting down the trees, destroying the forest, etc., which is actually the oxygen production units for us. Nature has given us. But we destroyed everything. Now we don't have oxygen. We have to lose a lot of lives, as well as we have to plead with other nations, etc. Mechanically produced oxygens are the one which we are depending upon now. Similarly, time is given to us by God. Therefore, we don't realize that what is given to us freely, we don't value it. But remember, time is the most precious thing. What you accomplish during your time, the 24 hours of your day, depends on your motivation, your energy, your conviction, your skills, and your abilities, and other resources. Therefore, equipping yourself is so important. Noster's our theory. Noster says success comes to us with five things. Success comes to us with five things. Number one is you should have a vision. Number two, you should have skills. Number three, you should have incentives. Incentives, what he meant is encouraging people, awarding and rewarding, etc. Number four, he says we need to have resources. Number five, he says we need to have planning, short term planning, long term planning. Now, five things are important, and second one is skill, and that's what exactly we can do developing during our time. Even so called free times, we can develop something. You can speak, you can learn, you can sing, you can develop your artistic talents, whatever giftedness you have. Therefore, uh, you should be motivated, otherwise, you will not achieve. Vivekanand beautifully says, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. That means you need to have a goal to pursue after. Everything you are today and everything you become in the future will be determined by the way in which you spend your time. Are you spending your time seriously, or are you wasting your time in less important things? So that is our question. You should set priorities. You should have goal. You should avoid procrastination. Procrastination is a major obstacle that can prevent you from practicing good time management skills. It is the constant pushing aside of tasks that need to be completed and is the arch enemy of all students. You know, if I start postponing things, oh, I will do it tomorrow, tomorrow will never come. Therefore, what you can do today, what you are supposed to do today, do it today itself. And as I said, the busiest persons will plan out and arrange his time in such a way that many tasks he will complete. And therefore, my dear students, time management is so important. We can have wasting our time or utilizing our time for creative purposes and equipping ourselves better for the future. It's all depending upon you. How are you developing your time? How are you learning extracurricular activities? Are you spending your time productively? And are you convinced of spending time in a worthy manner, etc.? Please remember, being successful does not make you manage your time well. Managing your time well make you successful. So therefore, let us spend our time uh, protectively, prudently, plan out, and uh, be successful in the future and contribute not only to your family, not only to yourself, contribute to our nation, especially in the time of pandemic like this. We need to be responsible citizens. Manage your time, manage your life. Thank you very much.